Alright guys, I'm back, ready to wrap this up here. Off camera I went ahead and got the turbine shaft installed. I went ahead and I just stuck the center section in the oven at, it was like 275 for 20 minutes or half an hour or something, I don't know, I don't remember. Anyway, that, I guess it did the trick. I mean, the shaft went in relatively easy. I don't know, 20 love taps with a hammer or something. And really expected it to be a lot tougher than that because it was kind of a pain in the ass to get it out. Anyway, so that's done. The next step is putting the back plate of the compressor housing on, and then torquing down the bolts. I went ahead and cleaned up the bolts, and I got some thread locker on hand, so we should be ready to go. Just want to make sure I get the holes lined up here. And right about there. Now if I can get this down, it should click when the oil seal compresses and seats. Maybe. Looks like we're all the way down. I heard it start to compress, but I thought there would be more of an audible click once it fully seated. I'm going to go ahead and put some thread locker on these bad boys, get them in there and torque them down. Alright. I'm going to take this with me and go torque them down real quick. Be right back. Alright, I'm back. I got the bolts on this back plate all torqued down. I really wish I had a proper torque spec on it, but I don't, so they're torqued to good and tight right now. They were a bitch to get off, so I just made them as tight as I could, pretty much, putting them back on. The only thing I've got left to do, really, is put the compressor wheel back on. Should just slide on like that. The nut over top of it, and normally if you don't make the mistake like I did of not marking the wheel when it comes off, then you can just put the wheel back on and line it up with the mark you made previously, and then you don't have to worry about balancing it. And really all you have to do is just scribe a line on the nut, the top of the shaft, and on the compressor wheel. So make sure all three line back up perfectly when you put it together, and it's as balanced as it was when you took it apart. I forgot to do that, so I will be, I'm just going to tighten this up, bring it to Chris over at CRT Technologies in St. Louis, and have him balance it for me. Another wrenches. And by the way, this is a left-hand thread, so if you try and take it off the normal way, it's just going to make it tighter. Alright, so that's good to go. That's really as far as I need to go. He will balance it as a center section like that, and then I can finish porting my housings and throw it all together probably next week sometime. So anyway, I guess hypothetically I can show you how to finish the rest of it. First of all, you've got the oil return tube that just bolts on like that, actually, like that. And then, aside from that, you've got the compressor housing, which just goes straight on over the wheel. Be careful not to ding the surfaces. And make sure you've got it oriented correctly when you put it back together. You will need to clean these surfaces up Put some gasket maker on those, bolt them together. You'll have to put the wastegate actuator on, and then all the little plates with their bolts, and that's a done deal. Then as far as the exhaust side goes, you can see I've been doing a little porting on it. Still got quite a bit of work to do, but we're getting there. I think most of the real work's done. A lot of what's left is just prettying it up. Anyway, okay, so what we would do, if I were putting this back together for real right now, is just slide this right in here like this. And there's actually, I don't know if you guys can see this, there's a little pin right where my pinky is on the compressor housing. That needs to line up with the hole on the center section. So that makes this fairly easy. Maybe. Okay, so that's lined back up. And then the way you're going to draw them together is to get the V-band, throw it around the center, and clamp it in place. Hook them on. And what I like to do is I'll put it on one way, basically the opposite of the way I want it to be. Clamp it down, undo it, rotate it 180 to where I want it to finally be. Usually I try and position that so the bolt's accessible while the turbo's on the car. Not really sure why, just seems like a good idea. Anyway, if you clamp it down, undo it, rotate it 180, clamp it down again, you make sure the center section is seated completely square to the turbine housing. I've had a couple instances where I put it back together, took it apart because I forgot something or wasn't done porting or whatever, and took it apart and the center section was kind of cockeyed in the turbine housing. That just kind of scared me, so I started doing it that way. Torque it down, rotate it, torque it down, call it good. Anyway, I think that about wraps it up. So I'm going to go get this guy packaged up safely for its trip to Chris at COT so I can get balanced.